Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. James Haskell, Glenn Martin, and, of course, DK, as always, on the sticks. We are excited to talk about our Baltimore Ravens, of course, now being 1-1 after absolutely demolishing the Browns in, I won't say familiar fashion. I'll say it was kind of a new way that we beat this team, new way that we skinned this cat here. With a lot of new contributors and otherwise, but nonetheless, we were 1-1, 1-0 in our division. Looking forward, looking backwards tonight. We're going to give you guys some updates, talk about the game as it was. Now we got some deeper stats and otherwise. Talk about snap count breakdowns. Talk about the AFC North. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. So we're excited to get into it. Glenn, how you doing this evening, my man?
Doing well. Excited to get into this week. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the Dolphins and Bills? I believe this Thursday night. I think that's the matchup. So yeah, I mean, just excited that football is back, man. Just super hype. You know, we got a couple days where we got to wait for some more football, and then it is back. But most importantly, excited the Ravens got back in the win column. They know. I mean, look, we got 4 very tough games back to back coming up. This was a must win in week 2. They could not have afforded to lose that game. So it was nice to see them get the win. Get back on the right track in a lot of ways, but obviously still a lot of work to be done. That game was certainly far from perfect, and they also had some injuries that we're going to get into, and that's certainly going to have to be addressed moving forward. But yeah, I mean, look, a win nonetheless, even if it is a kind of an undermanned Cleveland Browns team. That defense was the real deal, and I think it kind of helped open some more eyes as to what our inefficiencies are on the offensive side of the ball. And what a more perfect, there couldn't have been a more perfect team to display that than a team that is so good defensively and so bad on offense, in my opinion, at least until they find their quarterback of the future.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Glenn, and really happy with the way that we won. I thought it was interesting because, and I get it, a lot of people talked about the slow start and things like that, but which we're going to do tonight. I mean, if you look back, now we have some distance from the game. I mentioned this in our pregame show. Pretty wild to think that of the 4 throwing touchdowns, it was DeAndre Hopkins, not on the team last year, 2 to Tez Walker and 1 to Tylan Wallace. That's a big deal because no touchdown to Bateman, no touchdown to Zay, no touchdown to Mark Andrews. Derrick Henry had no rushing touchdown. Pretty incredible that we demolished a team that bad in that type of a scenario. I think it's really impressive, and it speaks to how well-rounded we are. That's why when Eagles fans and others say that, you know, objectively we have the best roster in the league. Yeah, hold on a second here. Because if you're really looking top to bottom, it's pretty hard to beat the Baltimore Ravens roster, man.
Yeah. And even with the few injuries that we do have that are certainly important guys like Likely and Pat Ricard and now KVN, still put up a 41 piece on a very tough defense. So yeah, got to credit them. What's going on, Dwayne Jones? What's going on, Bruce? Appreciate you coming out. CJ, Don, always blessed. Twin 410, first live in a while. What's going on, Travis? Appreciate you. King Blaze, thank you guys for joining us.
And Glenn, what do you know about? Sorry, I kind of interrupted your thought there, but what do you know about Pat? Do we know anything new about Pat right now?
Last we heard from Coach, he just said it's taking longer than they expected, longer than they anticipated. So didn't say there was any setbacks, but definitely is one of those scenarios where he's like, any day, and that was 2 weeks ago, any day, you know. And so, man, I gotta say, I don't love to hear it, you know. You know how we all feel about calf injuries around here, and it just makes me nervous that even. Like, I want him to be all the way back. Even if he says I'm back, give him another week. Like, there should be no inclination that calf injury is still there, because all it takes is one wrong push off, and all of a sudden your Achilles is gone. So, man, I'm getting a little nervous, but still trying to stay optimistic about Pat Ricard.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I just wasn't sure if I missed anything, but yeah, I'm right where you are.
Yeah.
Man, we need him though.
Now, before we get into, because we're going to evaluate some snap count changes over the weeks 1 and 2, we'll go over some transactions that the Ravens made. But one thing I want to point out, you know, we talk about this a lot. I know DK has an image queued up for us here. We talk about, you know, how much we feel lucky to have Lamar Jackson here in Baltimore. And it's crazy because he still catches grief from fans of other teams. I hear it. I still hear it. Friends of mine still take shots, but it's pretty damn crazy to think that Lamar Jackson now just passed, I think it was Aaron Rodgers, for now the all-time leader in NFL passer rating at a 102.6, while also being the NFL's all-time rushing leader for quarterbacks with 6,256. So he's the best runner at the position in history and at least the most efficient passer in NFL history. What more?
I also wonder if he averages the most yards per carry because he did
per attempt.
As far right.
Like as a passer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. Because he did it in so many less games than Vic. Yep. That has to be, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And also, like right now, I believe he's averaging like 9 yards an attempt throwing the ball. And we know last year they led the league. So they're crazy.
It's awesome. I mean, like you said, the only thing people can say about Lamar now is get a ring, right? But I feel strongly he's going to get that Triple Crown this year, and I'm sticking to that one. So can't wait for that. Just for people to go away, you can after that Lamar can be like Thanos and just sit at the top of the house, where there's no one around and he can just silence.
Yep. Take all their ammunition away from him. Hey, Roy in the chat's asking about the over-under theme song. Do we still have who is that by? I'm blanking here.
DK, can you put it in our private chat and then we'll let you know, Roy. I'm sure he's on Spotify. He's a Baltimore artist.
Yeah.
And we'll get you the name for sure.
Local guy. I should know this. I did remember this, but now it slipped my mind.
Shout out though.
Yeah, no doubt. But also to kind of piggyback on what you mentioned earlier, when you talked about how the unlikely heroes, at least from a touchdown scoring standpoint last year, Tez, of course, now adds 2 more catches to last year. Had 1 catch, 1 touchdown. This year, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. So he's 3 for 3. And a bit of an unlikely hero in a lot of ways. And I think Tylen the same way. He chips the guy out of the backfield and goes and runs a corner out and catches a touchdown. But I think this is pretty crazy too to think. Let me see. Did I hit remove other media? Okay. Add to stage. There we go. If you look at PFF and their current rankings for wide receivers in the NFL, now I will mention I had to ignore the snap count minimums because they do have some. And DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Walker have not met those because we all know that DeAndre's kept on a bit of a snap count. And Tez has got quite a logjam of talented pass catchers in front of him. So both of these don't carry the snap counts like a Puka Nacua with 80. Amon-Ra, 113 offensive snaps. Now, we're 28 and 13. But having said all that, they're the number 1 and number 2 ranked receivers in all of football. And I think it's pretty comfortable to say that they're the 3rd and 4th receiver, and maybe even 5th in Tez's case if you compare him with Tylen and his productivity. Like, that's pretty damn cool that those are our 3rd and 4th or possibly 3rd and 5th, and they're the number 1 and number 2 rated receivers in football.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I think, it speaks to the well-roundedness of the team, like you said. Really cool to see Tez come along. Really awesome to see his development. Speaks a lot to his preparation off the field and of course, working with the coaches and things. But, man, it's exciting. A lot of people may have thought I was crazy, but, I watched some of those highlights, and DK Metcalf, that is, had some rough moments yesterday. Mm-hmm. DeAndre Hopkins has just been nothing but highlights so far.
That's a fact.
Dude, look, 32 ain't that old.
No. Especially if you're going to keep him on a snap count.
Well, and especially for the way he plays. It's not like he's dependent upon, he's not Tyreek Hill.
Right.
He's not so dependent upon his ability to separate and his just burners. Dude's open when he ain't open.
That's right. Just throw it up.
I think it's fair to say he's the closest thing that we've had to Anquan Boldin since Boldin left.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like Steve was not Anquan. I mean, Steve's a Hall of Fame player, but they're different in style is what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good comparison.
Yeah. This is more comparable to me. I'm going to just really quickly before I forget, I'm going to copy a link to the song in our chat. It's by a guy named Dula Sincere. and this is a Spotify link to his song. It's called Locked In. You can copy that link. I just put it in the chat and then paste it. But yeah, just before I forget, wanted to give you that. Oh, wait, the song is called Clear, DK? I thought it was called Locked In. Maybe not. Oh,
either way.
My bad. That's him.
Yeah. Just trust DK. Don't let Jimmy distract you. Okay.
Hey, well, that's his Spotify link. Either way, get you to the right place. Kevin Johnson says, "Love you guys. Been going through it. Thank you for being you." Shout out. Thank you for being you, Kevin. How about that?
That's right.
Appreciate it, man. Not sure if you're local or where you're at, but it's awesome to see the Ravens fans come out and enjoy it, with us.
Hopefully you get through whatever you're going through here, Kevin.
Kevin, yeah, I totally thought that you were just talking about the Ravens, right? Like the ups and downs of it. But if there's something else,
maybe that's what he's talking about. Could be.
Yeah.
Either way, we are here for you, of course. What's going on, Don C in the chat, my guy? Well, let's go to the next thing I think I want to talk about. We are going to get some transactional news here in just a moment. But before we do that, I wanted to quickly throw up the snap counts. And
good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, we can kind of evaluate these and go over these together. Let me see here. So I have it on the – okay, here we go. Throwing it up now. Let's see what we got. All right, so I'm probably going to have to zoom in here, and we'll probably have to kind of go one side of the ball and then move to the other side. So on the offensive side of the ball, again, a big workload for a guy like Mark Andrews, 80% of the offensive snaps, yet finds himself, again, with just one target. I don't see anything from Mark that makes me concerned or makes me think he's lost it or he's fallen off or Father Time has come knocking. Like, do you look at this as just merely, look, there's a lot of people who need the ball. Mark Andrews maybe will ease as other guys prove that they can be counted on. Like, is there any growing concern around 2 targets and just 2 catches through 2 weeks?
Nah, I'm okay right now. I'm not concerned about it because I think when the moment is there, the chemistry is there, right? So I'm not overly concerned about it.
Okay, all right. Now, do you think Likely's return, which I think there's starting to be some, we saw him on the sideline working with some people, so I think that he might even be closer to returning than Pat Ricard. But do you look at his return as something that will help Mark Andrews, or could this potentially make it even more unlikely that he's going to get targets?
Yeah, I think it makes it more unlikely that he gets targets. But the thing for me is I think at this point with Mark, it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, unless Lamar's just absolutely lost trust for him, which I don't see. It's just moments, right? I'm sure Lamar's habit at this point when he starts to move around in the pocket and scramble right or left in the red zone. I mean, he's probably instinctually still looking for 89. So I don't think that's going away anytime soon. So yeah, I see his snap count going down when Likely goes out there, but it's not like he was unable to produce last year with Likely.
Yeah, no, that's true. If anything, it seemed like those two together were a pretty good match down the stretch. Now, I did incorrectly say only a couple targets. That can't be because he had the ball punched out of his hands in the end zone. So I know at least he's had a few more targets than what I had mentioned there. But yeah, so I did want to point that out. Also, let's see here. Rashad Bateman run a ton of routes. Another guy just not getting a ton of looks. Now, some of which was, some players were a bit handsy on him in the first matchup that caused some that one ball to be overthrown. But I at this point fully expect Rashad Bateman to still have a big year. I still think he's got a lot of plays that he's going to make this season. And but do you agree with that? Like, do you think there's anything?
Look, no, I mean, sorry, the you got to take what the defense gives you.
Yeah.
You just do. And I don't know. I truly think that Rashad is the type of guy that when we're winning and the guys in his room are doing well, what else matters, right? Like, we're winning. How can you be upset at that, right? To watch a guy, I mean, didn't they come in the same time, him and Tylan Wallace? They came in the same year.
I believe so, yeah.
To watch a guy like Tylan go out there and make big catches, third down, the touchdown, to go out there and see Tez do it, I don't think he's insecure enough about himself or as much of a diva to be concerned about it. I mean, how could you think about this, Glenn? I don't know. I guess your question, right? Well, and then on top of that, what would you look like if we're demolishing someone and you're upset, we're winning, and you're pouting on the sidelines because you didn't get the ball? What are you, like 5? You know what I'm saying?
Well, we see guys do that.
It's wild to me. They're 5. Yeah. They're petulant children. Like, yeah. But I guess your real question was like any concerns around Bateman, not necessarily towards it. No, I'm not concerned. I think it was all situational.
Yeah. Okay. Like,
guard Tez, fine. We're just going to keep going and make you do it, you know?
Yeah, and I think what's cool about and it right here on the screen you can see what makes Tez so valuable. Not only did he turn 13 offensive routes or offensive plays into 2 touchdowns, he also played 21 special team snaps. And if you are a young player who's maybe at the back end of the roster or maybe at the back end, at least of your position group, you better be a good teamer. And this guy, 21 snaps, 64% of all special teams. If you look at the other guys around him, not a whole lot are coming that close to him. That shows you the kind of work he's putting in. That's why he's earned those targets. And I'm super hyped for Tez. I'm happy for him. I think he's got a big career and a big season ahead of him. So yeah, keep it up there, Tez. But let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. Jimbo, after we saw KVN go down with now we know is a hamstring injury after playing just 12 snaps, we saw an immediate increase in Mike Green's snap count, going all the way up to 45 snaps, played 62% overall, along with 21 on special teams. So this guy is getting a full workload. Do you think, as a young rookie, now look, we all know his talent. We know he's got a high ceiling. He seems to have moves beyond his years when it comes to a pass rusher. What do you worry at all that they'll ask too much of Mike Green if Kyle Van Noy is forced to miss a couple weeks? Do you think that could be detrimental to ask too much of a young player?
No, I'm not. I don't think, not for Mike. I mean, he should have been a first-round pick. A lot of people said he was the best pass rusher in the draft. But it was off the field issues that kept it. So no, I don't think this moment is too big for him. I think he's prepared for it, and I think we saw him be much more impactful in this game than the last. So yeah, I think he's already surpassed everybody in the room. I don't think need to see much more. I mean, it's not the highest bar ever, right? Like it's not, you don't got Peter Boulware and Michael McCrary out there, but certainly being a rookie, being 2 games in, no, I'm excited about Mike Green. I'm excited about seeing more of him because what we want, Glenn, is we want the bad stuff out now. We want to get to the postseason and have him be repped out, right? So that way he gets into those moments and he feels good in it. Because you know as well as I do that we need those 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 3rd downs. We need those 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever, right? Like we need those impactful plays late in the game. And I think we need a young guy that can do it because I think vets struggle to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. I love get this guy up to speed, get the growing pains out of the way early. And the only thing I worry is that he's not, he's certainly not the biggest guy, but he holds up incredibly well against the run. But I do think the Ravens are smart. They're going to keep Tavius out there. He's still making plays. Adafe will certainly get his work. But, hey, Ajabo, you're going to get a chance. You're going to get a chance because, of course, as soon as KVN goes down, the Dallas Cowboys immediately signed Jadeveon Clowney, eliminating any hope for a reunion for Ravens fans who were hoping that Clowney might make a return back to Baltimore. That's not going to happen. But what we will guaranteed see is more David Ajabo. So, hey, prove me wrong, David. Prove me wrong and bring back that excitement that we had when the Ravens took you in the 2nd round a few years ago. I hope he can do it. But also on the screen here in front of you, another interesting thing we saw in last week's game was looked to be an emergence of Teddye Buchanan next to Roquan Smith, who put on an absolute show, maybe his best game in a couple years here in Baltimore. Hit over 19 miles an hour. Jimbo, remember I said that's the fastest I've ever seen him run? Well, I wasn't wrong. He's never ran that fast in a Ravens uniform, hitting over 19 miles an hour. He looked young when he picked that ball up, but next to him, Teddye Buchanan looked wise beyond his years. I mean, this guy was He was physical. He was in the right spots. I mean, it helped that it seemed like Roquan knew the play before it happened. He was literally calling it out, which of course aided Teddye Buchanan, but there was Teddie nonetheless. He gets 60 snaps, 82% of the defense's snaps, Jimbo. That's insane amount of snaps comparatively. If you look at Trenton Simpson, just 15 snaps, only 21%. And look, and then he added to those 60, played 26 on special teams. So Teddie Buchanan getting a ton of workload, another young rookie. I mean, when you look up and down at this rookie class, Jimbo, we are getting a ton of production and early. I mean, Aeneas Peebles was the second overall rookie. I looked at what was it, explosive play chart on defense of all rookies, and he was like first or second. Like, this guy is absolutely everywhere. What do you think about Teddie Buchanan taking over? Do you think it's his job now going forward, or do you think they'll still kind of bounce back and forth between him and Simpson?
No, yeah, I think this is his job to lose at this point, and it's exciting because he seems to be. I'm not gonna knock Trent Simpson's athleticism, but Teddie seems to be every bit as athletic, and he seems to be able to digest and process very quickly. So it's exciting to get Roquan a running mate. No, I'm really excited about Teddie's progression. And like you said, just the value we're getting out of this rookie class, just absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to the Browns too. They got some guys. There were a lot of young rookies as well. But no, I'm excited about it, man. I don't want us to look back. Let's do it. Let's roll.
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. And then last but not least, TJ Tampa gets in the action as Jair Alexander gets the day off, and as he still is kind of rehabbing, but also just trying to get himself up to speed, as he did miss a ton of practice time and had a disappointing week 1 performance. So TJ Tampa gets the nod, 16 snaps on defense, 22 on specials, makes a play on defense. I remember he's are you okay with letting Jair take as long as he needs, as long as we stay healthy around him, and guys, like TJ Tampa and Wiggins, who had the big interception? Are you okay with those guys kind of holding down the fort and say, Jair, take as long as you need?
Yeah, you know what? Really impressed by TJ Tampa, and really, really impressed by his physicality, by his speed matched with his physicality, and it seems to be that he's getting a grip of the game. From an intellectual standpoint as well, which is always a jump from college to here. So I'm okay with it. And it's not just him, right? There's a whole gang of guys there, but certainly he is a piece that we're going to need moving forward as well. So no, I'm so excited by the emergence. Think about how many years it's been, Glenn, where we haven't had corners drafted in that mid-range, area of the draft that just haven't been able to shake out. Right, haven't been able to work out. I feel like we've had a lot of swings there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get to the point where I'm pessimistic about it. I'm like, dude, here we go. Why the heck are we taking a 5th round corner, 4th round corner? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? How many teamers do we need? Right. But no, it's really cool to see a guy like TJ shake out for sure.
Yeah. And then knowing that we have Longer Beam and Balal Cone, who are on IR, of course, this year, but there's more coming right behind these young guys. And I love to see, like you said, to keep the cupboards full when it comes to talented secondary players. You can never have enough. But yeah, and then Achodobi Awuzie, 88%. I mean, man, what an underrated signing he's looking to be. And then also, before we move on quickly, Jenkins. I thought Jenkins played well. We saw more of him this game than we had in a couple games, or in the first week. We saw 13 snaps defensively, and he looked pretty good. So excited about what we got here up front, and yeah, just hold down the fort. It looks like we got some super chats here. Let's see what we have here.
Yeah. A lot of people were concerned about Kevin Johnson, but he mentioned, keep like. Oh, okay. Well, King of the Seas says keep Likely out until health is 120%, please. Yeah, I mean, I feel that for sure.
But we can use that guy's talent.
Yeah,
he is so unique,
especially this gauntlet we got coming up.
Yeah, I mean, his just his ability to, run with the ball in his hands is the biggest thing I think we're missing. But obviously, he checks a lot of boxes, being that tight end. position that he plays. So we'll hope that he gets back here soon. Sea King, King of the Sea says, I hope Kevin has a phenomenal night. I believe in you. I love that. We know, and it looks like we may have even misinterpreted his message, and it looks like it was Ravens, central, but I love how the community was like, you know what? We're going to send some love your way, Kevin, regardless. Lisa Quintillion also says all our love for Kevin. So, I love that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Let's go, baby. Oh, and Don C coming through with the gifted memberships. Check it out. DK's musings just came out not too long ago, and I know he's going to be pumping out like 2 a day. DK. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. But he's going to be pumping out more as well, and we'll be able to put some other stuff on there as well. Shout out to Don C. We appreciate you guys. Hopefully, getting value out of supporting the show as well.
Yeah, buddy. Now I do want to get us some. Oh, you got something?
Go ahead. You got some transactions, right?
Yeah, I want to get into
questions for you after that.
Yeah, so Kyle Van Noy gets put on. We know he's banged up and he's going to miss some time. So the Ravens did sign Malik Ham back to the practice squad to get some more help in the edge room, but they did also lose to somebody on the practice squad. Former, what was he, a 5th round draft pick? Nick Samak.
I think he was 6th or 7th. I don't think he was 5th.
Okay. Out of Michigan State, the former backup center for Linderbaum just last year, who had his job kind of taken from him by Corey Bullock. He ultimately gets signed off the practice squad and is now a Carolina Panther. Also wanted to point out the fact that while he isn't here any longer, you guys will remember that a recent, right at the cutdown day, the Ravens released, former quarterback and now wide receiver, Malik Cunningham, who was on this team all through training camp, all through preseason. We saw him making plays. He was just signed. He was just signed by the Detroit Lions to their practice squad. So it kind of makes you wonder, are the Detroit Lions really in need of a wide receiver quarterback like Malik Cunningham, or did they sign Malik Cunningham with other reasons? And I think, Jimbo, would you have a problem with finding out that on Tuesday afternoon, Malik Cunningham was then cut by the Detroit Lions? Do you think now if he's with them all year, okay, that's one thing. But if you find out that next week Malik Cunningham is no longer a Lion, how are you going to feel about that?
Yeah, man, I'm not going to feel great about it. So strategically, what do you do? One, I think this should be against the rules. 2, you walk in and say, look, I'm not a narc.
That's right.
Not a knock, right? That's the question. And what makes the most sense for you career wise, knowing you're going to get cut in a few days? Because if you narc out the Ravens, they're not going to sign you back.
It's true.
So you check, you cross that name off the list. I mean, I don't know what you do here. I just think that this should be against the rules. I'm not here to complain about the tush push. I think people, if they want it to stop, they need to stop the play. But this is just buffoonery in my mind.
Yeah, and I just hope that their intentions aren't to just string along Malik Cunningham. That's the only problem I have.
That's exactly what their intentions are.
It feels like it. It feels like it that they're trying to pay Malik to basically be best a snitch that he can be. And to Malik, though, I mean, I would say, hey, he may have no indication that he's any closer to being re-signed by the Ravens. He could think, hey, this is my last chance. Right. Getting back in the league, and I'm going to do whatever the hell it takes for me to stay in the league. So if I gotta sing like a bird and tell the Detroit Lions anything and everything I might know about tendencies, player weaknesses, anything I can help, I would be doing it if I was Malik Cunningham, because that dude's just trying to make a living. But to your point, Jimbo, I'm not sure if there's a way that the league could prevent some of this stuff from happening, because I do think that, man, it would be really a low-down move to see him as a free agent again on Tuesday, to see that they're the only reason they signed him. Now, if that's an added bonus and they needed help, and that would be awfully coincidental, but I'd be okay with that. But if your only reason is to try and get some information, then you're going to cut him the day after the game, I think that's a sleazeball move by the organization, and I think the Ravens or the NFL needs to find a way to kind of patch that, because that ain't right.
Yeah, I agree. It's poor kid, right? I what you do in this situation, man.
It's a tough
But
spot
certainly
for him.
their intentions aren't good. It's very clear.
Yeah.
King of the Sea says, I heard Lamar randomly text ex-teammates calling them ops after they leave the Ravens. Malik don't want that book of power Lamar on his butt. Yeah, fair. That is fair.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to know how he and Hollywood, like, are they still buddies?
They were boys. They were boys, right?
Yeah. I mean, he used to like drive to the game together.
Yeah.
And then he left. And
they just brought him a new improved version. When they brought Zay Flowers, they're like, look, he's South Florida kid.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play soft.
No, he doesn't.
That.
No, he doesn't. Go get him a true number one. C King says, y'all are building a community. Much appreciated. You know what? Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you're the community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, he just turned on the microphone. See, King of Seas out there, dude. He's fishing with no. I imagine him looking like who's the dude from Wana?
Oh, the guy the Rock plays.
What's his name? DK? You know his name.
Yeah, I saw it once.
Welcome.
But you guys have Maui.
Isn't
that the name of the island?
The Maori people too. Maui is an island. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I just imagine him fishing like with his bare hands or something. Just in the middle of the sea.
Oh, in the middle of the sea. Okay.
Yeah, just complete darkness, but watching our show because he has Starlink at the same time.
Appreciate you, C King.
Let's go.
Thank you. Kevin Johnson says Andrews and Bateman are coming. Henry too. Yeah, well, look, Henry had a massive week one outside of the fumble. Huge week one. Pushed 200 yards. Was absolutely bullying kids, but still waiting on Andrews and Bateman. But I do think that their time will come. I don't anticipate, as much as I love Tez Walker, I don't anticipate him and Tylen leading Rashad and Mark Andrews in receiving, which is what they currently are doing. I don't think that's going to pan out for the entirety of the season, but I guess you never do know. Let's see, C King. I could be. Oh wow, Maori for Halloween. Honestly,
dude,
okay.
If you do that, send us pictures on Instagram or Twitter, or tag us somewhere, Facebook, somewhere. Let's go, dude.
There we go.
All right. So I have some questions for you, though, Glenn.
Hit me.
All right. So two big questions. Well, actually, three. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. I'll pose it this way. Concerned, not concerned. The offensive running game was not great against the Browns.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about this being a longstanding issue? And add the fumbling wrinkle in there, too. It's 2 games in a row by Henry. Or are you not?
Well, I will say this. I'm not thrilled that it seems like if a team wants to, and they want to be ballsy enough and they want to be kind of brazen enough to just say, you know what, Henry's not running, and which is what they said, and they got it done. They really completely took him out of the game. Now, having said that, they had a really good plan, and they got really good guys up front specifically. And they got a DC and Jim Schwartz who've been doing this quite a long time. So you kind of have to have the right ingredients to be able to pull off what they did. But at the same time, I'm not as concerned in the sense because the Ravens recognized it and still put up a 40 bomb against it without Derrick Henry being a factor whatsoever. Like a non-factor, they put up 41 points against a good defense. So while I'm a bit concerned that they accomplished their goal, I don't like a defense accomplishing their goal to some degree and that they shut down Derrick Henry. But what they didn't account for is that the Ravens passing attack would throw 4 touchdowns on their head. So in that regard, I'm happy that the Ravens were forced to do something they maybe didn't want to do. Maybe they wanted to have a more run-centric offense. And they said, you know what? We're going to take what the defense is giving us. Sure, they're loading the box and they're going to take away Derrick Henry. That's fine. We'll just throw touchdowns to Tylan Wallace, Tez Walker, and DeAndre Hopkins over your head. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I guess I'm a little bit disappointed that they accomplished a big part of what they wanted to do, but at the same time, the Ravens were versatile enough and talented enough to just pivot their game plan and beat them in a different way.
Yeah, but overall, you're not concerned about
like going
our ability to run the football.
No.
All right, cool. King C says, if the run game is suspect and we can still score 40 burgers through the air, I'm all for it. Make it rain. Yeah, No, it's fair. I just, of course, what's the old adage in the playoffs? You need to pack a run game and a defense, right? So I'm not concerned either. I just wanted to get your thoughts as well. I think
I'll tell you what would be concerning, Jimbo, is if we're in the playoff game and Zay Flowers is out like he was last year, because obviously Zay Flowers, he's a problem against man coverage, and he kind of forces defense to change what their strategy is. If face this same scenario and we're wounded in the wide receiver room and they take away Derrick Henry, then maybe we won't be so successful. Even though he didn't score the touchdowns, he did a lot to open things up. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely true. And then the other question I have for you is, we talked about Mike Green, but where are you as far as your feelings on the pass rush as a whole, right? Like, we talked about him taking over more. Did you see any more in that game? Are you now more concerned with the long-term injury of KVN? Do you think we need to bring in more people?
Well, I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to make a difference unless you
bringing in.
Yeah, like I don't think there's anybody out there as a free agent that's going to make any difference whatsoever. Now, maybe at midseason, if there's a team that's completely out of it, the Ravens could potentially look around, and we haven't done any digging on this to find if there's an expiring contract, an unhappy pass rusher who's looking for maybe a fresh start. Okay, potentially there could be there, but it's not coming anytime soon. So it's going to have to get done with what we have in the building. And I do think there's enough talent. I think that we are less aggressive than we have been. I do think that, we could help out by sending a little bit more on occasion. But, yeah, I mean, Odafe Owe, now's the time, bruh. Now is the time with KVN out. You're the lead dog in the room. You're the most experienced guy out there at the edge position, and you got to look like it. So I'm a little bit nervous that's the reality, Jimbo. We need to rely on super young guys and Odafe Owe and David Ajabo. And that's a little scary to think about with I include Tavius Robinson, the super young guy. I guess he's not anymore. He's been around a couple years, but it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm a little nervous about our pass rush, I will say.
Yeah. Those are the things that I took from this game that we should at least consider having a discussion about to see where your concerns are at, the run game and then the pass rush. But I think I agree with you here. It's just the reality of the situation from a pass rush perspective. Like, we need to make the most of it, right? But guys need to step up. If we're going to make a postseason run, guys need to make a step up, period.
Yeah,
all right, here we go.
Little pass rush out to Cole, putting this together on his Twitter account here. Pass rush win rate for the Ravens D-line on Sunday. As you can see there, Jenkins didn't play a ton of snaps, but boy, was he effective. Odafe Owe and Roquan then coming up just second. So Owe, getting the job done. And surprisingly, Mike Green, only 10% win rate on 29 snaps. Now, that was the most he's ever played by far as an NFL player. So we expect that to get better. Same with Peebles, who had a better win rate in week 1 as well. But, yeah, these guys, they got to keep working. They got to get better. I think our D tackles are living up to the hype so far with Metabike and Travis Jones. But definitely not the edge yet. The edge has to step it up. Rowe's obviously doing his job, no doubt about it. Tavius has had moments. I think he's kind of lived up to what we expect from Tavius Robinson. But Owe's got to be notch it, take it up a notch, and man, just hope Mike Green continues to get better.
Let's go, baby. And look, every team needs that, right? We're not alone. Guys don't need to panic, but every team has to have guys that step up and play big if they're going to make a run into the postseason. It just is what it is.
Yeah, and then I heard Coach Harbaugh asked about the potential of bringing Trenton Simpson off the edge, and if he's going to be losing snaps to Teddye Buchanan in the middle, that maybe we can find a way to get his athletic ability on the edge. And he said, well, potentially as an outside linebacker, but not as a DN. Of course, I mean, he's just far too small to be expected to go in there and hold up and against an offensive tackle. But to the question, which John Harbaugh didn't seem like very excited about it, but he said, I guess he could as an outside linebacker. Do you have any inclination that, hey, you know what? Let's see what this guy's got. He's super fast, super athletic. why not see what he's got and give him a few pass rush snaps from the edge? Do you want to see that?
I'm for it, dude. Let's go. Because what do you have to lose? I don't know, right? Pure speed out there. Get it done, especially if the matchup is right. Have at it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why coach is like not a DN because he's undersized
absolutely.
as a linebacker.
In the right package and in the right situation.
Yeah, why not? Let's see what this dude's got. He's super quick, man. He's super quick.
Yeah.
See if he can just beat these big slobs around the edge.
Right.
Why do y'all pigskin brothers think Keaton isn't getting snaps? Is it injury, rust, color me confused? Well, C. King, it was made very clear to me that the reason Keaton Mitchell isn't getting snaps is because he can't pass block, and he's not good on special teams, and that's why Ali gets the preference over him. We all know, that Henry and Hill are locked in as the 1-2 backs, and there's really you'd be tough to find a more complementary perfect back than Justice Hill is to Derrick Henry. But as far as the third running back spot, we all thought, hey, it'd be perfect. Keaton Mitchell gets 4 or 5 looks a game. And he could turn those into a big play, but apparently his pass blocking is so far bad and beyond behind where Justice Hill and Rasheen Ali is, and he gives nothing as a special teamer in comparison to those around him. So, yeah, they have no use to get him on the field until he gets better in those areas. So that's why he's going to be a continued game day inactive. When I hear all that, it goes, okay, the only way we'll see him active is if there's an injury at the running backs ahead of him. That's the only way.
Yeah, or somebody in the special, somebody in the return game.
Yeah, I guess so. Like if Ali, I guess, were to go
or what's his name, Wester too. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. No, I agree with you there. If you want to get on the field, you got to be fundamentally sound. And John Harbaugh's offense, defense, and special teams just is what it is. Ask Ben Cleveland.
Yeah, well, Ben Cleveland. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that guy did, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this weekend's matchup. We talk about Monday
Night Football, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I always hate waiting all the way till Monday night. It's tough. It's painstaking. It's like, oh my God, I just want to see my squad. But man, is it going to be a good game? We got 2 of the most explosive offenses in football. We got 2 of the few head coaches that aren't involved with any play calling, which is kind of interesting to see. You don't see a ton of those out there nowadays. And you see 2 quarterbacks that I think are incredibly different in how they play the game, but both very effective at the same time. So Jared Goff doesn't look anything like a Lamar Jackson style of player. He's gonna be a statue in the pocket. He's gonna look to get the ball in playmakers' hands and see what they can do. But obviously a very different style of player than what we have here in Baltimore. But man, should be a great matchup. I don't think it's going to be the beatdown that we saw in Baltimore last time, but I do think it's still a tough matchup for the Detroit Lions. But we'll get into that for our preview show for sure.
Yeah, that's about it for us tonight, folks. Shout out to all of you who came and hung out with us. We'll, like Glenn said, we'll be back later in the week for our preview show. We'll talk about our over-under. We'll reveal the winner there and otherwise. But that's it for us tonight, folks. We'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
See ya.